Hello everybody, how you doing? It's a beautiful summer night here. The moon is so pretty and so cool, and videos don't and pictures don't do it justice. But it's up there underneath them trees and it's just so pretty. I thought I'd come outside. It's a nice night. And just talk to you guys a little bit. I want to welcome any new subscribers, and I want to thank the ones that are here and for your comments. I really appreciate you. I hope everybody's doing good. I just wanted to come on here just for a little bit. I wanted to talk about Candus. And I want to clear something up because I think people think that I'm defending Candus because I put up a couple posts. I am not defending Candus. I know that Candus has been a terrible mother. I know that she's used substances and she's an alcoholic. You can tell that she's an alcoholic. And Don too. And I'm not saying that I believe her or I trust her or anything. But, Candus, I would like her to, come forward and talk. Both Don and Candus better start talking, you guys. Or the cops are going to come knocking on their door. And I'm not kidding you. This is getting bad. Candus and Don should want to put this to rest. I don't know what they did. I don't know how it happened. Everybody on my channel should know that by now that I have believed, listen to me, this has been my theory and this is the feeling I got from the beginning, from my very first videos. I believe that Don called Candus that day and said to her, there's some freaky guy, some weird guy trying to touch the little kids. That was either a code word to her or it was getting her set up to understand that maybe some creepy guy came and took Summer. And then he goes, the thing is, I believe he came home. That's why he called her. He wanted to know what time she was getting home. And I believe that he came up the back way, just like he explains how you'd have to part way and so you wouldn't be seen. He took us on the route. He showed us the route. I believe he was laying up in that basement and that he took Summer out of there and they went for a ride. Either that or Candus and Grandus met Don with Summer. So, yeah. I've always believed that. I don't know if Candus did something personally by herself, but I'm going to tell you what. I've always believed that Don was the suspect, in my opinion. I've always believed he was the person that did this. If you notice, over the years, I know it's just pictures, but Candus, she spent more time with them kids, and they did have clean clothes on for part of their life, and they did look good for part of their life. It seems like there was a downfall. I don't know. It just seemed like the children started failing at a certain point, and I don't know if it was because of too much neglect, too much drinking or drugs, but I know one thing for sure, that you could tell the downhill, the decline in those kids, and especially Summer. And something was going on, but you notice, I just want to remind everybody that I'm not saying that this happened at all. I'm not saying Don did anything to his daughter. It's my suspicion that he did. And why do I say that? because his half-sister was the same exact age when it started happening to her. And that's why his half-sister, Jeannie, called TBI, because she said I was the same age when this happened. And so my dog's trying to climb on top of me right now. I'm sorry if I don't pay attention to him. He tries to climb on top of me, pushes his toys into me. And you guys, you would not believe this. He actually takes his toys and pushes it right in my rear end. Just crams them into me no matter what. But yeah, right now he's being really wild. He's behind my back trying to climb my back. But what I was going to say is that Candus at least did some things with them kids. Don, I think maybe they got 2 pictures of those two, of him, I'm sorry, and the kids. So, yeah, I find it very, very strange. But I do think at one point, Candus, I think she tried. I really do. And so, but then something happened. But there is a lot of people who claim she was a very abusive mother. And she was hitting those kids and hurting those kids. And so, Candus, if you're listening, I'm just going to tell you, if you lost your temper, or if Don lost his temper, or if some kind of accident happened like that, you need to come forward. You need to put your daughter to rest. This is terrible. This has been going on 2 years. We can't take it anymore. I mean, really, come on, Candus. If you and Don loved Summer as much as you say you do, and your children, you would start talking, and you would tell what you did, because you know where Summer is. I truly believe that. Don always talked about Summer meeting him in the driveway and running up to him to get candy from him every time he got out of work. That she'd run down the driveway as he was pulling up and meet her dad at the truck. And I wouldn't doubt if that happened that day, you guys. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And he took her for a little ride, and he didn't come back. I know everything seems suspicious on Candus. It very well could be. But that isn't where my gut feelings go. My gut feelings go on her father, who has a worse criminal history. And also, he has been accused of trying to sell a child before, his baby. He's been accused of molestation of his sister. And now, you guys, listen, I was just going to say, it's strange that at 5 years old, it seemed like when she was turning 5, this is when all this decline started happening, if you know what I mean. And then she comes up missing. I mean, they've been shaving her head, but I truly think that they just had a real bad problem with head lice. My kids got it a couple times in school from other kids. And you can do a lot of things, but it doesn't mean you're a dirty, terrible person, even though we know that she's not a very good housekeeper and she had a real bad mess there. But that's not just her fault. That's Don's too. Don knows how to take care of things. Men get off on these responsibilities, I don't care. He knew how to cook dinner. He knew how to do things. He's such an abuser. And, there was many times that I heard during this case, Tina, the one that was with the Ernie, Candus, and different ones, Candus telling them how he took all the money and he was gone. And when they got money from from Summer and donations, he got a lot, she said, and he was gone with the money. He took all of the money and he went and partied. So everybody that wants to just blame Candus, I really don't believe that you're looking at the right person. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying that I think I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm not that kind of person, you guys. And just because I write a post or I say something, trying to reach out to get Candace to say something, you know, I'm a Christian woman. I cannot hate anyone as mad as I am at these people for what they did. I also know that they're human beings and they don't deserve to be bullied. Okay? You can have suspicions and you can talk about those suspicions, but I don't think it's okay to make fun of them and say nasty things to them and make videos to them. That's bullying. I'm not sure if you realize that, but that is bullying. And people who do that can have their channels taken down because that's against the YouTube community guidelines. You can't do that to anyone. And if people start, and I know, I seen over at Miss Daisy's, they were ready to flag her because a bunch of times that one lady, that one video YouTube creator, they were ready to flag that lady because I guess, you know, she was bullying. You know, I don't know. I do not watch her. I don't care who watches her. That's your thing, and she has a right to say or do what she wants on her channel. I just know that I've seen some things, and you know, YouTube might strike her, so you can't just say stuff, you know, like that. I have watched her a few times, and I don't have anything personal against this lady, this Roe. But I cannot, like, if I keep watching that, I cannot condone, you know, or say anything before God because you guys, sometimes it gets pretty vile. So I don't usually watch those kind of channels if you're getting too vile. Sometimes I have checked, I'm not a follower of a lot of people, but Benny Keys, the only reason I've shared a few things is because he's made a good point. He made me laugh so hard, you guys, because he was talking about Ziggy in the naked island she created and all these creators that she wanted. They were going to vote off the island, but they had to pay money. And I don't care how you feel about it. I feel that it's wrong to be taking money from people or getting money, you know, and using Summerwell's information and hashtag her name on your channel. That's all. I'm not going to lecture anybody for taking, you know, wanting to make money, but in good conscience, I could not never do that, you guys, because I don't think it's right. But, you know, I just think it's very sad that Don and Candace don't want to come out and say what they know. I don't care. This isn't going to stop. Like, this case is not going to stop bothering them. And they're never going to have no rest because they know that they're not telling us everything. And they know that they're not telling us the truth about stuff. And so as long as this keeps going on, the games, the charades, the lies, Don and Candace, this is going to keep, it's never going to end. And I don't know if you enjoy this and you like always being people that people do videos about and wonder what happened to your daughter. And I don't know if you like all these people doing this on Facebook, because I see there's a lot of groups on Facebook. You must enjoy it because I would not be able to handle it. And like I said in my community post, Candace, you supposedly know God. And you seem to know scriptures and know things about loving other people. Well, if that's the truth, then you know the right thing to do would be to get right with God and to start telling the truth, because you're not. Everybody knows you're not. Everybody, just about, except those that you have deceived or manipulated into helping you. And I'm not trying to say it to be mean, because people don't realize is that's true alcoholic and drug addict behavior. They'll go to anybody that can help them, feel sorry for them, and get a source of money or income for them. They use drug users and alcoholics use other people. That is just what they do. And I'm sorry to tell people like Miss Daisy, but I mean, good for her if she wants to support them. Everybody needs a friend, I guess. But I feel like it's just foolishness over there. And I don't care for Miss Daisy's channel at all. And once in a while, the only reason I'll go look at it is to see what kind of new hell they got talking about over there. And I don't really even trust that many stories that in the Summer Wells case, because I think that Don and Candus have lied to us the entire time. I think that they have fabricated stuff, made up stuff, gave us videos and pictures of different days. I think they purposely gave the police the picture of Summer in the red dress. You know, everyone knows that Candus had all kinds of TikToks. She had all kinds of pictures and videos, because we seen them later on. But she chose that one. When we know that Summer's hair was shaved. So she put out misinformation from the beginning. I don't believe the flower story. I don't believe none of that crap. Maybe they did go swimming. Maybe they did all this stuff. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. The police know what was on their phone. And as far as Fred Hill, the reason that I don't think that Fred Hill could have took Summer is because TBI said they had everyone, they were on camera, him going in and out, and they got everybody that was on that camera that day. And I found out too, because I was listening to one of the detectives or somebody there. I seen a video recently, but it was from a long time ago when Summer first went missing, and they said that someone caught that red truck on camera, and they didn't know if it had anything to do with Summer's case at all. They just seen this red with ladder racks that had gone through the area that day, I guess, or something. So he was never really, that person wasn't a suspect, but everybody treated it like, oh, this guy in the red truck. Well, Donnie has had access to a red truck. So, I don't know, sometimes I believe the story that Grandis took a nap, but sometimes I don't. Grandma over there, Grandma Candy, to me, she is very suspicious. And, like we heard that she wasn't allowed to talk to the kids when they were taken into custody, the boys. That she wasn't allowed to talk to them. And we also heard Hunter say that she was acting crazy that day. Like she was out of her mind that day that Summer went missing. And she said that the kids were kicking her. And I don't know. She just seems like a grandmother that would kick your butt. You know what I mean? If you did anything wrong. So she seems like she could be mean. And Benny said she was hitting on him when he was up there. And no, I'm sorry to tell people, and whoever wants to say this crap, Candus did not do nothing with Ernie. Ernie did not do nothing with Candus. Ernie was trying to help her, and Ernie was being nice to her. And Candus fell madly in love, and she got her heart broken just because someone was nice to her. The same with Benny Keys. Excuse me, I've had a cold, you guys. Same with Benny Keys. I mean, if you go on his channel and you watch him, he calls everybody baby, beautiful, all these, real nice names. And so Candus has never had a man talk to her like that in her life. And she has a low self-esteem from her husband. When you're cut down and abused a lot, you have a low self-esteem. And so she just fell in love with both these guys within like a day. I mean, she really wanted to be alone with them and talk to them. And, I felt kind of sorry for her. I really did, because, for a woman to fall that easily for people. And I just think Candus had a very messed up life. And I think Don is a big part to blame. And I think Candus has her own responsibility. She's had a bad past. Sorry. But, here's the thing. Her boyfriend at the time, her husband at the time, was the one who beat that kid and caused him to be handicapped. And now, and that's probably what was going on in the house. I don't think she tries to stop it. I don't think she tries to overpower Don. I think it upsets her, because we heard Candus say in that one video, she said, excuse me, she said, nobody would ever hurt her like that if I was around. So that tells me that she was very monitoring whatever was going on with her. And so she knows full well. But I do think that it was bothering her what was happening in that house. That's just my personal opinions. But she's the type of person, if you really look up domestic abuse victims, they cannot defend themselves nor their family, and that's why they stay in that situation. I think I read it takes up to maybe 4 or 7 times, I can't remember, you guys, to actually leave a domestic violent relationship. That's how many attempts women will make to get out of it, but never really get out of it. Women, especially someone like her, she's dependent on Don. He's the breadwinner. He's bringing the income in the house. He's threatening her. He's abusive to her and beats her down in her mind, calls her effing bitch, a whore, a cunt, all these terrible things, you guys. And we've heard it live. And he smacks her, and we know it. And we know he abandons her. He takes off and is gone for days. So women like that, they will fall for the first person that is nice to them. And I know that, because I fell for the first person who was nice to me after I got on my domestic violent relationship. So I can tell you for a fact, that's what happens, is that it's very hard for them to leave. And once they do, they usually fall for some other crappy person. I don't believe Don and Candus passed their lie detector tests. I believe everything we've heard came from Don and Candus, and they're not telling the truth. And I think they better start. I think something's going to happen for real. So, Candus, you better start talking. And you better start, and Don too. You guys, the cops are going to show up. I'm serious. They're going to come pick you up, because you know, and you have more information than you want to tell us. You're covering for each other. And that's why Don doesn't leave Candus and Candus doesn't leave Don. It's because they have something over on each other. I believe if Candus doesn't know what happened to Summer, which I do believe she does, but if she didn't know what happened to Summer, then she's covering for Don either way. Because she suspects him, and we've heard her say that she suspected Don anyways. But these two are such habitual liars that we cannot trust them. But Candus, I was hoping you would be the bigger person. We know Don does a lot of bad stuff. We know that you've been abusive and not nice. But man, you can clean up your life if you really wanted to and get it right. But Don, I don't think there's no hope for him. And I believe the only reason he's not on the registered sex offender list is because he hasn't been arrested. He hasn't been caught. I think he should be. A lot of people, I think, should be. Candus, I want to tell you guys something. I believe that Candus not fell in love, but liked the attention from these young boys like Hunter. They actually talked to her, paid attention to her, were nice to her. And Don, that's the total opposite of Don. And yeah, she's pretty stupid for buying him vapes and smokes, but Don has been letting his own kids smoke pot and do drugs in the house. They've been giving the kids alcohol. They had it in their bottles. People seen him smoking pot with his kids. Jody Sue said they were buying dope for their kids. So, it was wrong what Candus did and her kind of weird relationship with him, but I know why she had it. That person, Candus, that woman don't have no self-esteem whatsoever. And she'll cling to anybody for any kind of drop of love, and that's no kidding. I feel bad that her mother abandoned her and left her with her stepfather who abused her. And she's had nothing but problems her whole life. And I do want to say this, some women, not all women, but some women I've seen women do this, will smack their kids and be mean to their kids because the father's nice to the kids and not to her. Like they take out their anger and their frustrations when they're disciplining their kids and they're mean. Okay? Now, I'm telling you, I've had quite a few girlfriends that did that, so I do know that. I never believed in corporal punishment. I don't think you should lay your hands on any child. You can take them by the hand and firmly hold their hand and look them in the eye and say no. And you can look a little scary. You can ground them. You can put them in a timeout. Unless it's something really bad, then you can get them a swat on their butt. But what I'm saying is I've never believed that. What does it teach them? If you hit a kid, you're teaching them to hit. You're teaching them that's how they handle problems in life. So that's not, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in hurting any children. They're young, they're innocent, and they don't have it all together all the time. So you have to forgive, and you have to be patient with children. And I'm not saying I was a perfect parent, by God, no. I've gotten mad at my kids, thought I would lose my mind. A few times I had 4 of them going, acting like wild Indians, Comanches in my house, 2 girls, 2 boys, acting crazy all the time. One time, I was taking a nap, just for a second. Just lay down, close my eyes for 1 second. I didn't actually take a nap. But they let the neighbor dogs in my house and was having a powwow in my kitchen. All 4 of my kids, they were crazy. They always were into something. And so, yeah, you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of love and understanding to raise children. And the world's scary enough. And all this perversion going on with child trafficking. And people have gone way past evil. I'm sorry, this is horrible what's going on. And I'm praying all the time that God will deal with this. And I pray all the time that Jesus would watch over these little children, send his angels to watch over them and deliver them out of those bad, evil situations and away from them parents. And I always pray that the Lord will just get them out some way and provide a way of escape for them. And I'm so glad to see so many human trafficking rings being busted, you know what I mean? But yeah, I truly believe Don and Candus are just covering for each other, but we're all getting tired, and they should be tired by now, especially Candus. She should be tired of this. And she should want to have peace and move forward in whatever happens in life. You know, Candus, if you gotta go to jail, you gotta go to jail. I mean, you're not gonna get past this, is what I'm saying, no matter what you do. So I hope you do. You're the one. I hope you're the one that comes forward and tells on Don and tells what you know. And if you're the one who did it, I hope Don comes out and tells on you. So I think you need to be the first, the brave one. People would help you, Candus. If Don's the one who did this and you came forward, people will help you. I don't think everybody hates you. They're really angry because after 2 years, you're still not saying nothing and you know what happened to Summer. So we're waiting on you, Candus, to come forward. Tell it on Miss Daisy's. Tell it to Sheriff Lawson. Leave an anonymous tip to the TBI. But tell them what happened, Candus. Time's running out. So, anyways, I hope everybody has a great night. I just thought it'd be nice to come out here. It's such a nice night here. And just be outside for, something different. Yeah, and my dog's crazy. He bothers me. I mean, he likes to pester me a lot because he doesn't think that I should be doing anything but paying attention to him 24 hours a day. Oh, I just wanted to say I was cracking up about Benny's Naked Island and Ziggy wanting to kick all these creators off. And Benny goes, "What is this naked island? She's not naked. Nobody's naked." And he's like, "What in the hell is going on over here?" And I was just dying laughing, but he made a good point that she should not be asking for memberships and money for this game. But who am I? I guess she can do what she wants. I don't dislike Ziggy. Please don't take it wrong. I don't dislike her. Some of the things sometimes I don't like. And one of them is asking for money when people do these things to get funds and to get cash apps and whatever. So, no, I don't agree with that. But you can't really see the moon that good. I wish you could. But I hope everybody has a nice weekend this weekend. And I don't know what to say, you guys, about the Summerwells case because it's up to the police. And unless Candus or Don or Grandis or Hunter or someone comes forward with the truth, we're going to have to wait for the police to make an arrest. I do believe they have evidence, digital evidence and different things from their phones. But, really when you think about it, where are they going to go? The cops know where they are all the time. Maybe they're hoping they'll say something so they can find Summer's body. That's what I think. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they don't think they're guilty, but I do think they think they're guilty, and I think they're guilty. And a lot of people do. So, I'm sorry, Don and Candus, but that's the truth. And you put out your own suspicious behavior on YouTube. So it's your own fault. We wouldn't know half this stuff if you guys weren't out here on YouTube. But you did. And so that's what happens. And I get so tired of like, oh, different people like White Boy Radio and Daisy and different ones saying, oh, the hatred. Well, I'm not on here spewing hate towards Don and Candus. I'm talking about my suspicions about him and what I think happened. I don't hate them. I just think they know what happened to their daughter and they're not going to tell. And they need to tell before they get arrested because it will go easier on them. You guys, my nose is completely stuffed up. I've been blowing my nose. I've got it like a cough in my chest. And I think I got it from my grandson because he had a runny nose the other day. And you know, the weather changes, the barometer. One day it's warm here, the next day it's cold, and it gets cold at night. Excuse me. I'm really sorry. But anyways, yeah, I think that they are just hiding and covering up. Candus especially, I think, hides a lot for Don, so, and covers up a lot for him. I don't know if she got hit or not, but seems like it's always an excuse that she falls. This isn't the first time she said she fell. You know, a lot of people say they fall down the stairs, but I think Candus would have been injured on different parts of her body, not just up by her face. I mean, even her nose looks swollen. In her eye. But who knows? Maybe the kids did it in Arkansas. But she sure was crying and upset. And that's why, you know, I wouldn't put it past Don. Maybe he didn't do it this time, but I wouldn't put it past him. That's all I'm saying. Because he's an abuser. And he's a cheater. And he's a liar, Candus. And you need to get rid of him and get out of that marriage. And find your own way. You don't have the kids anymore, and it's very, very sad. But maybe something could happen someday where you could have hope. So, you need to tell on old Donnie boy over there. So, anyways, you guys, I love all of you. Thank you for being here. And I hope you have a good night, okay? And thank you for your comments. I love them all. God bless. Good night.